That's exactly
We'll be sure to blow it up and use that for the thumbnail like people
Right.
do.
Oh, we gotta get Splash in it. How you doing, Pup?
I think she stopped.
No, she's going out to the other side.
Oh.
She's sneaky.
Yep. All right. Welcome to the latest Watercolors Aquarium Gallery video, brought to you from the Aquarium Rush Studios in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Today it's surprise topic time, and this time it's Amy's turn.
My turn. I think I made it pretty easy on you guys because this is a conversation that I have so many times in the shop with people who have been in the store a lot of times, who have bred a bunch of fish, who are pretty competent in freshwater, and then the second they start tiptoeing into our saltwater department are like, whoa, I can never do any of that stuff. So I figured today we could talk about making the jump into saltwater.
Right.
This is a bigger topic. I think it's probably something we might need to do a podcast on, but at least busting some of those myths that really block people from trying something that they might really be interested in.
Well, number one, I'm going to say is it's not full work.
It's easy.
It's so easy. Like, I cannot tell you how often I've seen like the expression of like, when I tell someone I have salt and freshwater tanks, I do not spend more time on my saltwater tanks. I like intentionally designed them because I was hoping I could do less work than I do in my freshwater.
Yeah.
But it ends up being about equal. But.
Yeah. We recommend pretty similar care to what we do for freshwater, about 20% of week water changes as long as you've stocked things appropriately and you're not overfeeding and all those other things. But it's the same things that become issues in freshwater.
Yeah.
So I think where that myth comes from is people walk into a store like this and they see our big reef tank and think, oh, I could never do that. Look at all that equipment on there. And yes, that is a more complicated system. Turn around and look at the little, 12-gallon rimless tank that has an AquaCare back filter and a blade light, little LED, and the corals are thriving.
Yeah, it's apples to oranges. People are comparing their, like, I don't know, I've got a handful of cheap tetras and some Java moss tank to this gorgeous, fancy 10 different types of corals and every piece of equipment tank, and it's not an apt comparison. There is the low-tech planted aquarium equivalent for saltwater.
That's a great way to describe it. The high-tech planet aquarium that we have in here is as complicated or more complicated than our reef tank is, and it's freshwater.
Yeah, and it's running just as much equipment.
Exactly. Yep.
I might actually spend more time on that than I do that tank.
Yeah, because the trimming.
Right. For some of those saltwater creatures, be that certain corals or certain fish or certain inverts, they need that. There are limitations. But there's limitations in freshwater too. If you want glosso spreading all over the bottom of your freshwater aquarium, you need a high-tech tank.
Sorry, you're gonna have CO2 or you're not gonna have glosso.
You're not gonna have it. But if you want something easy and basic in saltwater, it's there too, just like it is for freshwater.
And there are plenty of corals that are the Anubius of saltwater.
That's the way to describe it.
Put a light on there and do a water change from time to time and you're fine.
Yep.
If you come in and you say, hey Charles, what kind of coral do you like? It's probably an easy coral.
Right.
Yeah, the one place where I think they do get us is it is almost always more expensive.
It is true.
Part of that's the water, just sourcing that. But, I mean, you can go pretty simple with saltwater.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are looking at like the cost of the fish themselves, and I'm like, if you're only keeping tetras, yes, they're more expensive. But for someone like me, who's buying
$50 bettas compared to $18 clownfish,
it's like, I'm really not spending more money on my fish.
I would even counter that and say, I don't know that you are anyway. How many saltwater fish do you think would be appropriate for a 29-gallon aquarium?
2 to 4, depending on the size of the fish.
Okay, and if you were gonna put, let's say, a dozen $4 fish in there, how much are you spending compared to how much you're spending on 3 saltwater fish?
I think you're pretty much right in the neighborhood.
Corals are gonna be pricier, but you don't.
But there's some $20 corals.
And start with $20, and some of those will fill your tank within a few months.
Right.
So.
Try to find the forums on corals that will like overrun your tank, and if you just want one coral, that's the coral you want.
Exactly.
They're not less pretty than the hard ones.
They're just easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So freshwater hobbyists, don't sell yourself short. I promise you that you can do it. Come in and talk to us about it.
If you can keep a healthy freshwater tank, you can keep a healthy saltwater tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just gotta treat it like a saltwater tank.
Yeah. Come on in and let's show you how. I think that's a great one, Amy. Good job.
Thanks, guys. I knew you could handle this one.
Well, listen up for a podcast coming on this where we're going to do easy saltwater.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect topic right there.
That's fun to talk about.
Yep, I like that.
Be sure to subscribe to see more videos like this. Like our videos if you like us. And,
Comment below if you don't like us. Just let us know.
But remember, we're very fragile. So.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. Have lots of fun and keep those hands wet.